Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And today we're going to be talking about a little bit of the future of slime. Not my own, well, kind of my own thoughts, but not like speculation. Well, it is speculation. Fuck, this intro sucks. Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And today we're going to be talking about something that the slime producer, Onishi, I think is his name, stated in his producer letter on the actual Slime Isekai Memories website. So right here, we have, what's coming with the 6-month anniversary, right? Letter from the producer, half anniversary on the 19th. And now it's a couple days later, but busy and had other videos to get out. All this stuff that we already know, Grushin, Sufia, Lake District, the whole Q&A, or the quality of life update. But then all the way down here, scheduled for future release, there's a few things here. The ability to play Loop Loop while parallel processing, so tower. So that is a big thing. I think they said in the live stream it'd be like June, or after June, somewhere around there, some that time frame. Plus a new way to strengthen characters, a 6th status board will be added, so that is the ability release board, this right here. So there are 5 levels. They're going to add a 6th level, which if this already takes level 100, then I don't know what the 6th level is going to take, so that's going to be interesting. But release schedule yet to be determined. New large-scale battle content currently under development. Yet to be determined, probably a raid of some sort, but I'm not even going to try and think about that. The whole reason of this video is this bullet right here. Expansion of protection-based support. Add 2 protection characters to a single party. So, as you know, right now, when you are building a team, any team, you have a protector. And you have three frontline units and 2 backline units, and you have their supporters that are attached, right? So now with this stating that add 2 protection characters to a single party, this could be very, very interesting and also a gigantic power creep if they implement it in a way that I have seen before. Now, I have searched around and I have come across probably what I think are the 3 most interesting ways to implement a double protection character in the game. So I'm going to go over those things now. Alright, so the first way that I think that they can go about this is if you have your team set up here, but then also alongside, this Hakuro that I have, what if you just threw on the Golem? And you had both Hakuro and the Golem active at the same time. So if we go into battle, once we get into the battle, into the fight itself, what if, whenever you built up your protection meter, you also built up a separate protection meter for both units? And so if you were to, in concept, it would look something like this. And you would have the Hakuro meter down here, and you'd have the Golem meter up here. So if you were to obtain these, 2 blue orbs, if you had the Hakuro meter active, you would gain meter on Hakuro. And then if you were to click on the Golem, it would flip, and now the Golem would be active, and you'd build a separate meter for the Golem instead of Hakuro. And so you could play around with the idea of that, oh, you want some defense right now? Or you have like a full 6 hand of blues and you want to build up a protection meter, but you don't want Hakuro act on, you want guard, flip in the Golem. And then you can get a Golem turn 2. Or if you want to, rush ults, then you flip back to Hakuro, and then you have, 40 points and a whole hand of oranges coming next turn. That I could see as being very possible. It's very interesting and kind of, I think it would be the least amount of power creep, because I don't know if, bringing these units, if they're their attack buffs for, leading Earth would stack, or if they would be separate, because you're separating them out between who is active and who is not. I think it would be very wonky if you were to try and activate both, one after the other, because if you flip in, you're going to have to, rechange all the damage calculations and attack formulas for each unit, because maybe your Hakuro is level 100, but your Golem is level 80, and so you're not getting the 16% from Hakuro, you're now getting the 12% from the Golem. I think that would be a little too much programming on the dev side for that, but it is an interesting concept. The second concept that I have seen is that if you have both of them active at once, and so getting these 2 blues will fill up both Hakuro and the Golem meter at the same time, and then whoever gives you the higher attack leader divine protection boost would be the priority of what buff that your units get. So 12% attack here from from Hakuro, but if their Golem is level 100 and you're getting 16, then you'll just get the 16 on each unit, and Hakuro's will be non-factor because it's lower. That is the second option that I could think of that would make a reasonable amount of sense. I think the power creep for having both of them active, though, if you're filling up both meters at the same time for 2 different protectors that do 2 different things, that would be power creep beyond belief. Because can you imagine if you were to fill up both meters at once, and then turn 2, you could have Guard active and Hakuro to give you 40 points and the whole hand of oranges, and then you have Benimaru in here boosting oranges while having Guard, which means you'll take little damage and counterattacking at the same time. That seems pretty broken, but it also seems pretty awesome for all intents and purposes. I mean, EX Milim Conquest is still relatively difficult for people who do not have the new Earth meta units. It's still hard. But if you were to be able to Guard and use Hakuro at the same time, that would make this stage fairly easy at that point, because of the defensive and offensive potential that you would have. So that power creep would probably be the most massive. It'd be the most out of the 3 that I have chosen. The first one, having, switching off, is reasonably balanced, because you're not getting both at once. You're flipping, and you yourself are choosing which protection unit you want active, and their bars are not. They're separated. They're not combined. So that is an idea. Now, the third idea is a little bit more interesting, and it comes off of my experience playing Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. Alright, so here's my Dokkan account right now. Please ignore the overlay. I've resized this to, be visible to people. However, this is how a team is built in Dokkan. So you have your leader unit, which is this blue Frieza, the LR Frieza right here, and he leads a team consisting of a whole bunch of other Frieza units, right? And regardless of the percentages, you see that he leads Sworn Enemies or Planet Namek Saga, 3 key and 170% to attack and defense, or attack and HP, and 150% to defense. So essentially, each of these units has an individual attack stat and base stat. So right here, so HP, attack, and defense. So that Frieza is boosting all these stats by 170% and 150% for the defensive stat. Very strong. Dokkan percentages go wild. So don't really take that into context with Slime. But what I want to really go over is the fact that you also have a friend unit right here, who is also the same exact Frieza, who also gives the same exact percentage boost, 170 and 150. So this Tech Frieza right here, first form, this 20,765 is now boosted not by 170%, but by 340%, because we're doubling up on the leader skill, and that is how a team is made. You have your own personal unit, and you have a friend leader. That's what this is, a friend leader, who also takes part in the team. So this team is technically 7 people. When I go into a fight, it's 7 people. And this Frieza, attacks, and he has his own skills, and he does everything that this Frieza is going to do. That could translate over to Slime, I think, in maybe not the same exact way, but in a very similar fashion. So back in Slime, I think that what we could do is, if this is my team, we could, based on a sworn friend, so going into the list of sworn friends that I have, they could update these photos to be a friend leader, a protection unit that people would set. And, whatever level they are is whatever level you're going to get. So Q could set a level 100 golem, or Blitzkrieg could set a level 80 Romarus, light Romarus. And then when you're building a team and going into a battle, Conquest and, whatever, Flaming Demon, Extreme, and you're going to take this team in, before you hit move out, you'll have a second screen that says, now choose a friend leader. And now from your list of sworn friends, you can choose to bring in, someone's level 100 Hakuro, or someone's level 80 Wind, or, light Romarus. And they will attach on to, like, over here under, like, friend, if that existed over here. And then you would get, increases all allies' earth attack at the start of battle by 12% from Hakuro, and then fire, which is fine. But then if you were to have a second Hakuro, you would now have an extra 12% or 16% if it's a level 100, like it's over here. So 12 and 16, so that's 28% attack now that you're giving to the rest of your team. I think that's a pretty realistic team setting for all intents and purposes. They'll have to change up the friend system, and they'll have to update that, and now you won't be able to have your like level 100 Earth Lumi, visible and present. Maybe you could. Maybe you don't want to set a protection skill leader. That's fine. But maybe, since they're adding protection extra secondary 2 protection leaders per team, I feel like this is the most reasonable and realistic option for them, is to have a second leader that will give their additional divine protection boost to your team. Therefore, powering your team up, because an extra 12% is an extra 12% damage right there. 16% from a level 100 is an extra 16% damage. And based on what we've seen in the space meta with this new space milm coming, damage is about to be super cracked anyways, and boosting that up by doubling the protection boost would be real cool. I don't think they would actually participate in battle. I think you would just get their passive boost, but you'd still have the one Hakuro meter, and you'd only use one Hakuro at a time. Like, the in-game battle system would not change. Just the start of turn boost that you get would be higher. Or if you want to run, like if you're running Hakuro, but then you have, let's say, a unit that doesn't fall under Hakuro's leader skill, so like Water Soe or something, but you want Soe to get some kind of damage boost, you could run like Chloe over here. Or you could run Water Millum. They won't boost up the other units, but they'll boost up the water unit that's on your team. Therefore, evening things out. So, my earth units will get 12%, and then Soe will also get 12%. That way, he's not missing out on any extra damage that you would have lost because you're running Hakuro, who doesn't boost water. He only boosts earth and fire. I think that's the most realistic double protection update that I could see. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. What would you be most hyped for? Do you agree with these 3 options? Is there another option that I have not considered that you would find to be realistic in a sense that they could implement? Let me know. But for now, take it easy, guys. And I'll see you later.